water. Isn't it such an interesting thing? You need water to survive, and yet it can kill you in multiple ways. One way is the obvious, you could be drowning in water. The second way is by the sea level. Now, when ice cubes get hot, they melt into water because they are just basically frozen water. When glaciers, which are made out of ice, get heated by the sun, they melt and they turn into water just like any other ice cube. Now, if any glacier melts, then the sea level will rise because there's more water being added because it's not frozen and compact anymore. It is now liquid water. And once this liquid water gets too high, it can end up flooding areas by the coast, like here in California. For example, let's say we have a community here. This community is the community, and let's call this Crazy Town. Now, Crazy Town, of course, they have humans that live there. Let's just get a couple of humans. Of course, these humans have jobs like a doctor would. That's doctor if you couldn't tell. And communities also have things called houses and businesses. So let's sprinkle in a couple of these. Yep, we're making a community here. Right. Okay, so you have this community. And let's say it's by the ocean. Let's say this community is near the Indian Ocean, because we never hear about the Indian Ocean. Now, glaciers melt, of course, and that makes the sea level rise, and it floods. So these are the glaciers that have melted, this one right here, and this is the current sea level. More water gets added, and eventually it topples, and it gets full. So it goes into the community. Yes. Now, it's in the community, and this is bad because it can cause water damage to things like houses and living things like trees. And people would need to fix these water damages that are in their house, but they can't. Why can't they, you might be asking me? Because of businesses. Businesses are no different from houses. They are both buildings. They will also get water damage. They need to fix this water damage for it to be safe, because mold is not something you want to have in your body. So they're like, oh, well, we have to fix this. That's a lot of money. So we are going to fire you guys from our company because we need the money and you can't even work here anyway. So why have you? So they're fired. And so now the people don't have any money. So they don't have money to fix the water damages that are in their house. They also don't have enough money to buy new houses. And they couldn't because they are all ruined by water damage. So they are homeless. They also, eventually, since they're not getting any new money, they will run out of money. And people need, of course, water and food to survive. So once they run out of that said food and water, they will begin to starve, and they eventually, all these thriving people in this town will die. And that's not good for us. We don't want to die. Dying is not healthy. So, because of global warming, glaciers melt, which leads to floods in a community, which leads to water damage, which leads to no more jobs, which leads to death. Now you might be thinking, well, are we the only things that can die? No. See, animals like polar bears need the cold to survive. They live in the Arctic and they live on cold areas. So they need cold areas to survive. Since it's getting hotter from the sun and global warming, they will eventually die off soon. Too, because now see what their problem, they are not running out of water because there's more water being added, but it's getting warmer, and the fish that are in the ocean could die because of global warming. So then they don't have any food either. So just nobody has any food anymore, and the world becomes a waste planet. Now, we don't want this, obviously. And there are ways around it, but that is how global warming, that's another way that global warming can lead us to our deaths, and, we can be Rome because we're, all this powerful places in the world, and we die because we aren't taking care of our planet. So, that's not good. Goodbye.